Mark Twain said, "It ain't those parts of the Bible that I can't understand that bother me. It is the parts that I do understand." You know, we Episcopal clergy are taught, preach the gospel. But for 2 weeks in a row, I have wanted to throw the Sunday gospel in the garbage. Last week, a very tough text about divorce. This week, Jesus says, "Sell all you own and follow me." Mark's words are hard to hear because we understand them. Jesus says, "I am anti-divorce." Jesus says, "Be ridiculously generous." I don't know about you, but I prefer verses with room for interpretation. Verses that allow debate about what Jesus meant. The middle of today's text, a prime example, where Jesus said it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for someone who is rich to enter the kingdom of heaven. Some scholars actually say this verse contains a 2nd century typo. That when scribes wrote camelos for camel, they meant to write camelos for rope, one letter off. Now that makes sense. Trying to thread a needle with a rope, difficult yet more feasible than threading a needle with a camel. Others say the needle's eye was a metaphor for a tiny secret entrance in the walls of an ancient city, and that a camel could only pass through by removing all excess luggage that it was carrying, and then had to get down on its knees to pass through. That'll preach. Camels of the world, all ye who come forward and carry too much, remove your emotional, mental, spiritual baggage. Get down on your knees if you want to seize the kingdom. Now that's a passage that allows us to waste lots of time deliberating. What does it mean? Camel or rope, door or needle? Problem is you can't sidestep that end part. Part about wealth, loving money too much. It can hinder our relationship with God. According to the text, it can block us from kingdom living. John Wesley wrote, "Money never stays with me. It would burn me if I did. I throw it out of my hands as soon as possible, lest it find its way into my heart." You know what they say, never talk about religion, politics, or money in polite company. Of course, Jesus never followed that advice. Do the math. 16 of Jesus' 38 parables speak about how to handle money and possessions. In the Gospels, 1 out of every 10 verses, that's a total of 288 people, deal directly with the subject of money. And as for today's story, why do we know it so well? Do the math. It appears in 3 out of 4 of the Gospels. This story of the rich young ruler. That's a title match from all 3 versions. As Matthew's the one that says he was young, Luke, a ruler, all 3, he's well off. But despite all those minuscule differences of detail, the Gospels show that the essence of the story is the same. A man was successful, confident, rich in this life, and so he wanted to know, how can I get rich in the next life? Now, this young upstart was polite, and he knew the right things to say. The right title, good teacher. Of course, don't you just love that at first Jesus appears to have no interest in this upwardly mobile, spiritually eager beaver? He actually tried to brush the guy off. Surely, that was a pat line all the rabbis said back then. Follow the commandments, you'll be fine. But then the surface banter turns to serious talk. Straight to the chase. Jesus, I have followed all God's laws. What more can I do? Oprah Winfrey writes, there's a calling for all of us. The real work of our lives is to become aware and awakened, to answer the call. Read the Gospels and see how Jesus called people all the time. And yet, this call story is different. It's the only one where Jesus says, sell all you own. There's no record of Jesus saying, fishermen, disciples, sell your boats, put them on Craigslist. Simon and Andrew, they kept their house in Capernaum. Martha and Mary, they owned a house. And there's no mention of Levi, the tax collector, giving up all his gains. And what about Scripture telling us about all the wealthy people who bankrolled the spread of the gospel? Lydia, Phoebe, Priscilla, Aquila, Gaius. Why did Jesus say just to this one, kid, get rid of your cash? Because when Jesus looked into his eyes, he sensed what that man loved most: money. Take note, this is the only time in the Bible that tells us Jesus loved this specific person. And despite that fact, despite that offering of love, despite Jesus' invitation, follow me, despite the fact Jesus said, lift off your baggage. See how blessed you are. Share those blessings. The young man actually said, no, thanks. I'll pass. I'll pass on your love. This is the only call story when someone actually has the audacity to turn Jesus down. Six-year-old Aaron asked his mother what was for dinner. Chicken soup. She replied, "My favorite food, thank God." Aaron exclaimed, "Why are you thanking God?" His mother asked, "After all, I made the chicken soup." "It's true," Aaron replied, "but God made the chicken." As Christians, we believe God made the chicken. God made all that we see, all that we love, all that we own. My husband likes to say it's all on loan. It's all on loan. And we decide, will we give or not? We are blessed. And with that comes a call to share our blessings. Money, time, skills, brains, love, courage, joy, empathy, availability, the list goes on and on. Every day, Christ calls us to move a little bit closer to Him by sharing our blessings. That is gospel truth. Amen.